our public advocate, a former councilwoman, Letitia James. So I think I got everyone who has ever served in the New York City Council who's in this room. I wanted to come tonight to tell you that I feel incredibly lucky to serve with an amazing woman, Adrienne Adams. And I come here because I campaigned with Adrienne during her race. And all of the things that have been said tonight by the elected officials that have worked with her and seen her grow in her community activism, I find to be true. You know, before I was elected to the council in 2013, I spent 8.5 years on my local community board on the west side of Manhattan. You do not spend 8.5 years on a community board, and you do not become chair of the second largest community board in Queens because it is sexy or full of adulation. You need your head examined a little bit to spend that much time on a community board. But when you do that, when you spend that time learning about land use, learning about education, learning about transportation, working on the hyper-local issues that neighborhoods and communities care about, that gives you the requisite experience and know-how to serve in the New York City Council. Adrienne is tenacious. Adrienne is an incredible worker. And Adrienne is a fierce woman who can lead. And so I come here tonight to tell Adrienne and her family and the other elected officials from Southeast Queens and her constituents that I have her back. And that whatever she needs in the City Council, to the best of my ability, when it comes to the budget, when it comes to the responsiveness of city agencies, when it comes to shepherding through important pieces of legislation that matter to her and her community, I have her back. I wanted to come here tonight to tell you, you are incredibly lucky, and you know this already because you know her, to have her representing this district. I am a big fan of Adrienne Adams. She has a bright future. Most of us here tonight in 2021, we are gone, we are out, we are old news. She gets to run again in 2021, and she has a big future. And so I stand here tonight to honor Adrienne, to honor her family, especially her husband, Jay, and to honor all of you in this community. May God bless the Adams family, and may God bless all of you. Have a wonderful 2018. Thank you very much for having me. She can sing, that mellifluous voice of hers. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Speaker Johnson. We're going to shift gears a little bit now. We're going to have a performance from C2 Krita, let's get that name right, from the American Bengali Hindu Foundation. Kritu Sata.
Gone,
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give her another round of applause. To acknowledge our elected officials and dignitaries, I call Richard S. David, who is a member of Community Board 9 and a former candidate for City Council District 28, Richard S. David.
I have to lower this a little bit. I'm probably shorter than most of the people that have come up so far, right? How's everyone doing? Good afternoon. Southeast Queens, where you at? Richmond Hill, anybody here? Rochdale. South Ozone Park. And Jamaica, but South Jamaica. All right, so I'm gonna stick to the script now. Councilmember Corey Johnson has already thanked the other members of the City Council. So we also want to acknowledge and thank Borough President Ruben Diaz for being here, former Controller John Liu for being here, happy belated birthday, current Controller Scott Stringer, of course, Mayor de Blasio, our very own Queensborough President Belinda Katz, who was kind enough to lend me this pen to write all these notes. Some of the notes. We have Hirsch Perek from Governor Cuomo's office. Of course, Senator Chuck Schumer. And Congressman Gregory Meeks, of course. In the State Senate, we have Senator Leroy Comrie. We have Senator James Sanders Jr. In the State Assembly, we have the very lovely Ms. Vivian Cook. And of course, Alicia Heineman, and our new State Assemblyman, Clyde Vanell. I don't know if it's still new though. We also have a list of state committee members, Leroy Manuel, Ms. Dorita Clark, Gene Phelps, and of course, Patrick Jenkins. We have district leaders, Anthony Andrews, June Brunch, Archie Spigner, of course, Mr. Archie Spigner, Martha Taylor, Yvonne Reddick, who's also the chair of Community Board, from Community Board 12. We have Rosalind Spigner, Jacqueline Boyce, Bob Simmons, Ari Espinal, and there are 4 precincts. We have the 103rd, the 102, the 106, and this evening we have the commanding officer for the 113. This is Jerry O'Sullivan. And I'm from Community Board 9. We have 3 community boards. One is which Ms. Adams is from Board 12, formerly. And of course we have Board 10, and I'm from Board 9. There are 2 other individuals, Dilip Nath, who is the president of the New Americans Voters Association, NAVA. Thank you for being here. And Anthony Gelino from the South Ozone Park Civic Association West. If anyone's been missed, please forgive me and forgive this committee. We appreciate you for being here. And Adrienne, we had some fun, didn't we? Yeah, thank you. And thank you for including me. Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you, Richard David. And we know that Adrienne had been the chair of Community Board 12. I do want to note that she is still on Community Board 12. She's no longer the chair, but she still is serving the community on Community Board 12. The next part of this program is called Heart of the Community, which is indeed what she is. And this represents the different elements, or some of the different elements of Adrienne Adams' public life. And so we have education, advocacy, and activism, and community board. So the first group of speakers will speak about education and knowing her from that element. Dennis Walcott, President, CEO of Queensborough Public Library. Allison Branker, Principal of PS 40 Queens, the Samuel Huntington School. Omotayo Sineas, the principal of Catherine and Count Basie Middle School 72. And Patricia Mitchell, Principal of PS 48 Queens, the William Wordsworth School. Will all of those speakers on the issue of education please come forward and speak in that order?
Good evening. It is a pleasure to be here, and I have a couple of roles that I'll put into a very concise way. When one is asked to speak about Adrienne Adams, our new councilwoman, there's just so many things one can talk about. And what I would like to do, in addition to education, is talk about the person, because the person to me represents not just a leader, not just a person with keen intellect, not just a person who is committed to the community, not just a person who walks with grace and playing as our councilwoman. She is on the Economic Development Committee. She is on the Finance Committee. She is on the General Welfare Committee. She is on the Land Use Committee. She is part of Rules and Elections. She's on the Subcommittee of Landmarks. And you have to really understand that Adrienne is positioned to effectuate significant change, not just throughout the borough of Queens, but throughout the city of New York. The one committee that she's not on, but will always be a part of her life, and she will be a committee of one, is in the area of education. Adrienne's passion, her commitment, her connection to education is truly outstanding. When we talk about early childhood, when we talk about universal pre-K, when we talk about pre-K at 3 level, Adrienne represents those ideals. Education is a part of